And I know we talked about earlier today about artificial intelligence. Curt, what are you seeing in your neck of the woods on that? Because it obviously is going to be it is a great growth factor for data centers. It's going to continue. Love to hear your thoughts on that.
Well, kind of really the last foot to fall on inventory, at least in our markets, being absorbed was several artificial intelligence companies, most of which are offering GPU as a service, coming into the market and looking for anywhere from 3 megawatts to 7.5 megawatts, and even higher. We've seen one standalone data center facility with 13 megawatts leased by CoreWeave, which is one of the AI groups. So, I would tell you we're seeing that not only in Texas, but it seems like all across the country, big pockets of inventory being leased by some of the groups that are GPU as a service. But we also have seen a lease by a Fortune 500 company that is going to announce a huge AI initiative, take down what's going to end up being 15 to 20 megawatts recently. The interesting thing, I think, with AI is, especially the GPU as a service users, they've come out and are using the NVIDIA's new H100 servers, which has those new chips. And we have a group that we're working with that's putting 4 of those H100 servers in a rack. Each one of the servers itself draws 11.1 kilowatts per server. So we're deploying racks in clusters that are drawing 45 kW per rack. And that's really high density. And so what we've seen is that there are some older data centers that can't cool that and with traditional air cooling. And right now, the supply chain on doing things like liquid cooling in rack, you can't find enough of that equipment, and it's really expensive. So what's being deployed is really depending on air cooling, and just a lot of the data centers that are out there that aren't of the newer variety are having a hard time cooling it. The other thing that we're seeing, and I don't know if you've seen this, Jim, but with some of the providers out there, I think because of these new high density deployments that are attributable to AI, they're looking at delivering power to the floor at a higher voltage. We're seeing, I know of one provider that's told me they're delivering all new development at 415 to the floor versus traditional 208 volt delivery. And that does a couple of things. It helps in being able to accommodate these densities, but it also cuts the cost to the end user. These racks that these groups are deploying have a lot of components and they're really expensive. But if you're taking delivery at 415, that cuts that upfront cost for these guys almost in half. And then ongoing, it's a more efficient delivery of power. I think some of the newer developments probably going to be the home for a lot of these AI deployments as they really start to gain steam. With the supply imbalance that we have right now, these guys are looking to take down capacity. It's going to be hard for the industry, I think, to be able to satisfy demand going forward over the next 24 months. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. And I think to your earlier point that the new NVIDIA chip is a game changer, which is really going to fuel a lot of growth for the next couple of years, for sure.
It really is. Pretty exciting time.
Well, Curt, this was excellent. Thank you for your insight. Really appreciate it. Great to kind of understand what you're seeing in terms of emerging technology. So thank you for your time, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, Jim, I appreciate it.